I'm back from my trip to China, as you might know, and we've had a lot of Assassin's Creed updates, like recently, but also when I was gone. So I wanna, in this video, get you up to speed on everything that is going on. I also was able to do an interview with Nicholas, the technical architect on the Anvil engine, that of course got a big upgrade with Assassin's Creed Shadows, and basically a lot of these features that they are using for Shadows can also be used for future projects. I also want to look at the future of Assassin's Creed Shadows, because we got quite some info on that, but let's first start with Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced. We got another age rating for the game that reveals some interesting information. This title breathes new life into a fan favorite while remaining carefully faithful to the spirit of the original. It follows the story of the charismatic pirate and assassin Edward Kenway as he adventures through the 18th century Caribbean with parkours in cities and battles at seas, in search of fortune and glory. Modernized in 2026, the new game includes a cast of new characters and stories. I think modernized in this sense means that it just looks like a modern game with like better graphics, but of course, like it's going to be very interesting to see, will they use the RPG combat or the old combat, like retool that? Will they have the inventory system from the RPG games, or still use the lists? I would like or prefer the inventory system from the RPG games. Like, it's going to be fascinating. It has to be a home run, but if they tweak some stuff, then yeah, I think they can hit the wrong buttons, basically. But let's hope that they pull this off. And of course, the new game includes a cast of new characters and stories. We already had rumors that the modern day will not be in the game, but instead they will add new pirate stories for Edward. And we know that there was cut content for Black Flag that they originally intended to put in the game in regards to Mary Read. Of course, a very interesting character from the game. I would love to explore way more about her life and, yeah, her, of course, ties to the Assassins, etc. So I would be down for it. I'm very, very curious, and I think that having new content is going to be very important to even push people that, or like even pull people in that maybe would be like, yeah, I don't want to replay the game. Oh, whoa, there's new content. Okay, so if that is pretty significant, then I think they got a pretty high chance of a success here. But man, you would think this is going to be a home run, but you never know. It's going to be fascinating. I can't wait for this reveal, and really this time it seems to be happening. We got Who's Ready from Tom Henderson with an Assassin's Creed Black Flag GIF, so he's teasing it. And we also have Nate the Hate, who has a great track record, saying media and press are seeing it this week. I assume a public reveal will be the same day, but it could happen in the days following. I will of course keep you posted. It really seems to be happening soon. Let's move on to the other news. As you might know, Ubisoft dropped 4 Anvil videos, kind of talking about what they did with Shadows, and then also teasing that, yo, this will be of some use for future games as well. So again, I was able to interview Nicholas, which was kind of awesome. He did not say a lot, but still, I want to go over some interesting tidbits. So basically, a lot of the features that they added with Shadows, the seasons, the new weather effects, the destructible environments, like all that sort of stuff. They, of course, improved the hair for Naue. All that stuff will be something that future Assassin's Creed games can use as well. So they basically have a central sort of team that focuses on the Anvil engine, while the other teams are working on the game. And if like a feature for one of the games gets added, then other teams can use it too. But of course, it's easier said than done. If you want to do seasons in a future game, then obviously you have to look at, okay, but how does it work for the environment we're creating, or destructible environments, sword slashing a sort of like basket or whatever and it cutting into pieces. But of course you still have to create the new assets, because of course all the Assassin's Creed games are in a different setting. You have to still create the assets that are needed, that make sense for that setting basically. Right now we've only seen ray tracing really on the certain sort of modes on console, for example, but in the future with a Project Helix or other next-gen consoles, they of course want to keep pushing ray tracing and then still having the 60 FPS as well. That would be one of the goals. And also the hair tag, the hair strands that they use for Naue basically, where it moves in the wind. It looks really, really cool. On the base PS5, doesn't really look that great in like the performance mode, but on a PS5 Pro quality mode, you do see it on a high-end PC as well. They basically want to use this tech on other NPCs in future games as well. So that should be pretty awesome. They talk here about the micro polygon geometry, and right now it's used in the cities of the game to give it way more detail, and in the future they want to use it in the environments in the open world as well. And what is cool about all the shadow stack is that Nicholas said that this can be used on the future remakes. So we already had rumors that the Black Flag remake will basically look a lot like Shadows and use a lot of the weather systems like sailing, having the wind in the sails and the thunder. I think would be very cool. So that is probably where your expectation level should be in terms of how Black Flag should look, and maybe it pushes some of these systems forward, because again, it really seems like Shadow is the starting point. Other teams can use that tech and then improve on it for their own game, and then other games can be like, oh, that's cool what you did, we're gonna grab that too, and then apply it to our game. So Assassin's Creed Shadows, of course, launched on Switch 2 as well. When they were trying the port, at first it was not running very well, but they were able to make it work, and it's a pretty good port, and now they have that knowledge. So it doesn't mean that all the future Assassin's Creed games will come to Switch 2 and the other like PC handhelds as well, but they at least can apply the knowledge that they learned from porting Shadows to the Switch 2. So I would not be surprised if like the Black Flag remake or maybe even Hexe that they're at least trying to port that to Switch 2. Yeah, we will have to wait and see. I think the Black Flag remake will already be a great starting point for us to understand, okay, this is what they meant with them being able to utilize a lot of the technical advancements they made with Shadows. So that will be very interesting to watch. Overall, it seemed like they're way more collaborative right now on the engine. Other teams can more easily use all the features that were already implemented. It sounds positive. We, of course, have to wait and see. Let's now move on to what's actually happening with Shadows, because there is still content coming. If you actually go into Shadows right now, they launched an update last week. And if we go over here on the map, in Yamato, so you can just use this fast travel point if you don't have it yet, we see these sort of, yeah, this weird structure there in the distance. And by the way, because I'm playing a lot of Crimson Desert, I'm constantly doing the manual jump. But yeah, I of course want to run, but we should just use the analog stick for that. Like, is it really easy stuff? It kind of looks like the Animus Anomaly things as well. But yeah, you see the name of the location here too, which is very interesting. But yeah, they basically added this as a tease for future content. Apart from that, the update doesn't include a lot of other stuff. It is pretty nice that they made the bow weapon available for everyone. So don't have the Colossal Waji expansion, no worries. You can now find non-legendary bow weapons just by exploring the shadows of feudal Japan. Once you've earned at least one unique bow, the non-legendary versions can start dropping from enemies, showing up in chests or appearing at merchants like any other weapon. So first you had to complete the main story of the game and then do the go with the bow quest. Or you would have to buy the Helix bow staff to be able to have a bow weapon early in the game. But now you can just see them drop, which is nice. So you basically have an extra weapon for now if you're starting out. They also made the PS5 Pro version look better by adding support for the new AI upscaling technology, the PSSR2 support. Which is interesting that they call it PSSR2 because I think Sony just calls it like upgraded PSSR. And they got some other things. I will put a link to the patch notes in the video description. But we also got Severus here talking about how the location name that yeah we just talked about is teasing the incoming domain activation, thanks to AC Unlimited for finding that out. And yeah, it could be a tease for the Black Flag remake that, yo, there is a new domain, there's a new website coming. And we had rumors for a very long time that there would also be a crossover inside Assassin's Creed Shadows for the Black Flag remake. They've of course done that for other games as well. In Valhalla you had a Mirage quest, etc, etc. I think in yeah, in Odyssey they had a Valhalla armor set. In Origins they had something for Odyssey, I think, as well. I'm not 100% sure. But either way, they've been teasing, of course, these things very often. So yeah, it might be that we see some sort of Black Flag, at least a Helix pack, but probably also some Black Flag type content, or maybe they would just go after Templars on a ship, and we will see. There was also the Assassin's Creed Shadows anniversary stream where Chris was talking to Simon, the associate game director, and thanks to Style Over Meta on YouTube for like clipping these things and putting them together in a video. We'll also leave a link to that in the video description. So let's hear what's yeah, to what Simon has to say.
Like right away, we're not done with AC Shadows. I've seen the chatter. It's like, this is it, this is done. No,
Not
Not yet.
done. Okay.
We're
I
not
like to
done.
hear it. I like to hear that. Well,
And what I can say is, if the last few updates we made were like more feature heavy and less about content, so little things in the menus for the stats page and little things like that. The next update we're gonna do is all content. So stay tuned. We're not done with AC Shadows. That's literally all I could say.
So that is interesting. Now after this, there was the update that I just talked about, but I think that was just an update that they just did in between. But basically, the next update should include all content, which is good. Like a reason to go back and actually experience some new stuff. So he also teased in this video that there would be new projects, like multiple, so that is interesting, and that the things in the project would be special. Of course, we have this concept art for Naue with a really cool outfit that everyone wants in the game, and Simon basically confirmed that they are working on that, and I can see them put that into the project as like the final reward, but that would be, of course, very awesome. He also talked about how there would be new content in the key region. So yeah, during the stream they were like, yeah, where should we go, Simon? And Simon was like, yeah, why don't you go to this region? It looks very pretty, and yeah, as a player you might want to explore this because maybe hint hint there's something coming in the future. So it might be that they're doing a quest of some sorts that will take place in this region. When we know when the next Shadows update drops or have that Black Friday information, I'll of course let you know. So subscribe to this channel, check out the main channel, and yeah, leave a like, let me know what you think in the comments, and I will speak to you very soon. Goodbye.